Daniel said in court that when he and the Igbo woman were alone in the lift, she turned on them and she said to him, "Don't do it. Do you know what you're doing?" It stirred something in him. It rattled him. It rattled him so much that the final consultation came out and they said, "We're not going to do the kidney donation." And they didn't know about that conversation until court. They didn't know that this woman had sold them out.
I want to clarify a detail because most people have gotten this wrong, because the doctor said the kidney was not a match. Now most people assume match means something different. What we discovered, that match simply means that for any reason this operation can't go ahead. Could you explain that so people understand what happened?
What happened was that when Daniel went for his assessments and they explained what was about to happen to him, they needed to be reassured, as they have to before carrying out any of these operations, that the person taking part understands the risks and is doing it in the right way, in a voluntary, altruistic way. And they were not convinced from his reactions that he was prepared to go ahead, even though he was a match, even though he had the right blood type. It was something that they could only tell by speaking to him. And in fact, a second doctor was brought in because they were suspicious. But despite coaching Daniel, or trying to coach Daniel to go along with their story, they could smell a rat.
When Daniel got back to the Obeta household,
and then suddenly he was mistreated in the house. They were frustrated because the plan wasn't working. It sounds like they probably took it out on him, made him do chores. He was more confused.
he says that Dr. Obinna brought in a second doctor to start checking his body on the bed.
And then he heard a conversation that he was to be taken somewhere else for the operation to proceed.
So he's sleeping, it's at night. Dr. Obinna Obeta has brought this strange doctor in to feel his kidney, and he's like, okay, yeah. So Daniel testifies that he's now thinking, hey, nah, I'm not gonna have no botch job, like the way they do botch BBLs in the Dominican Republic that kills people. You know that, because you know there's back end so his fear was that they're just going to cut me open, and that's why he ran away. So the Jagba case, of course, you will see it and say Jagba, but then if you read through the headlines, it was more than that. There were two critical parts. He was there. So we don't know if this Igbo doctor didn't have a change of heart, because she was paid, I think she was paid £1,500, the Igbo interpreter. If the Igbo interpreter hadn't said to Daniel when they were on their own, don't do it all, he could have answered the questions in the consultation just how he was briefed. So we don't know. Also, if Obinna Obeta hadn't brought that strange doctor at night to Daniel, he could have maybe stayed, because they could have said, well, okay, we can't do it at there, they can afford it, we'll go to another private hospital. But he was scared, and you can't blame him for being scared of that.
At this point, he was aware of what the operation would be, and he ran away. And after 2 nights on the street, he made a very brave decision.
In-depth analysis.
Wow.